5 smart phrases that make you sound wise, not angry. A guide to Stoic communication. Have you ever been in the middle of a heated conversation and felt the anger rising inside you like a fire you couldn't control? You wanted to say something sharp, something cutting, something that would make the other person understand exactly how you felt. But instead of making things better, your words made everything worse. You walked away feeling regret, not relief. If this has ever happened to you, you are not alone. This is one of the most universal human struggles, the gap between what we feel and what we should say. The Stoics understood this deeply. Ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca did not live in peaceful ivory towers. They faced betrayal, injustice, loss, and conflict, just like you do today. And yet, they mastered the art of responding with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion. Their secret was not the suppression of feelings, it was the transformation of feelings into powerful, composed language. In this video, you are going to discover 5 remarkable phrases rooted in Stoic philosophy that will completely change how you communicate. These are not just words. They are tools, weapons of wisdom that will make you sound calm, confident, and deeply intelligent, even when everything inside you wants to explode. Get ready to transform the way you speak and the way others see you. 1. I may be wrong about this. This phrase might seem simple, even humble to the point of weakness. But do not be deceived. In the world of Stoic wisdom, this is one of the most powerful sentences you can ever speak. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations about the importance of holding your opinions loosely, of always being willing to be corrected by truth. He understood that the person who clings to being right is a prisoner of their own ego, while the person who remains open is always free to grow. When you say, "I may be wrong about this," something extraordinary happens in a conversation. The other person's defenses come down. The argument loses its heat. Suddenly, you are no longer enemies fighting to win. You become 2 people searching together for what is true. You shift the energy from combat to collaboration with just 5 words. This phrase is especially powerful when tensions are high. When someone is aggressive or accusatory, responding with openness rather than defensiveness disarms them completely. It signals that you are secure enough in yourself that you do not need to be right. That kind of confidence is magnetic and rare. People will not only respect you more, they will trust you more deeply. In every room you walk into, the person willing to be wrong is often the wisest person in it. 2. Let me think about that before I respond. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher who was once a slave and became one of the most influential thinkers in history, taught one essential truth above all others. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. This phrase is the living embodiment of that principle. When you say, "Let me think about that before I respond," you are exercising the most powerful muscle in your entire character, the muscle of pause. We live in a world that rewards speed, quick replies, fast reactions, instant opinions. But wisdom has never lived in speed. It has always lived in the space between stimulus and response. The Stoics called this space your ruling faculty, the part of you that observes, reflects, and then chooses. Every time you use this phrase, you are activating that faculty instead of letting raw emotion take control. Think about the last time someone said something that made your blood boil. What if instead of firing back, you had simply said, "Let me think about that before I respond"? The other person would have immediately sensed something different about you. They would have felt the weight of your composure, and when you finally spoke, your words would have carried 10 times the power because they came from a place of clarity, not chaos. This phrase does not make you slow, it makes you unstoppable. 3. I understand why you feel that way. Do not confuse this phrase with agreement. You are not saying the other person is right. You are not surrendering your position or abandoning your values. What you are doing is something far more sophisticated. You are practicing what the Stoics called sympathia, the recognition that all human beings are connected by the same fundamental experiences of pain, fear, frustration, and longing. When you acknowledge someone's feelings without judgment, you immediately become the most powerful person in the conversation. Seneca wrote extensively about the importance of understanding human nature, not to manipulate it, but to navigate it with grace. He knew that people who feel understood become open, while people who feel dismissed become walls. When you say, "I understand why you feel that way," you are not giving up ground. You are building a bridge, and the person who builds the bridge is always the one who controls where the conversation goes next. This phrase is especially transformative in moments of conflict with people you love, family, friends, colleagues. It tells them that even though you may disagree, you see their humanity. You respect their inner world. That recognition is so rare in our age of constant argument and one-upmanship that it feels almost shocking when someone offers it. And that shock? That is the moment when real conversation and real change becomes possible. Master this phrase and watch how differently people begin to receive you. 4. What can I learn from this situation? Marcus Aurelius faced wars, plagues, family betrayal, and political crises during his reign as Roman emperor. He could have collapsed under the weight of it all. Instead, he turned every difficulty into a lesson. In the Meditations, he wrote that the obstacle is the way, that the very thing blocking your path is the material from which you build a stronger character. This phrase is how that philosophy lives in real, everyday conversation. When you respond to a difficult situation by asking, "What can I learn from this?" something profound shifts inside you. You move from victim to student, from the person something is happening to the person who is growing because of what happened. This is not toxic positivity. This is ancient strategic thinking. The Stoics were not naive about pain. They simply refused to let pain be wasted. In conversation, when you say this phrase aloud, it sends a message to everyone around you. It says, "I am not here to assign blame. I am not here to nurse a wound. I am here to evolve." That kind of orientation is extraordinarily rare, and people are drawn to it like moths to a flame. Leaders who speak this way build loyal teams. Partners who speak this way build unbreakable bonds. And you, by adopting this single phrase, begin to build a reputation as someone who rises, always, no matter what falls around them. 5. This is not something I can control, so I choose peace. This is perhaps the most purely Stoic phrase of all 5. At the very heart of Stoic philosophy lies the dichotomy of control, the clear, disciplined distinction between what is within your power and what is not. Epictetus taught that nearly everything outside of your own thoughts, choices, and responses is beyond your control. The weather, other people's opinions, the outcomes of events, all of it lies outside the fence of what is truly yours. The only thing you ever fully own is your inner response. When you say, "This is not something I can control, so I choose peace," you are not being passive. You are not giving up. You are performing the highest act of Stoic courage. You are choosing your own inner freedom over the exhausting, futile battle to control the uncontrollable. In a world that constantly tells you to fight, react, and resist, this phrase is a radical act of wisdom. In conversation, these words carry tremendous weight. They signal emotional maturity, self-awareness, and a depth of character that is instantly recognized and respected. Whether you say it in response to a frustrating colleague, a difficult family member, or even just the chaos of daily life, it positions you as someone who is anchored, someone whose peace cannot be stolen. And that is the ultimate goal of Stoic living, not a life free from difficulty, but a life so rooted in wisdom that difficulty no longer has the power to shake you. Final thoughts. Speak wisely, live powerfully. The 5 phrases you have discovered today are not just communication tools. They are a way of life. They are the living language of Stoic wisdom, distilled into words that anyone can use starting right now in their very next conversation. Whether you are facing a difficult colleague, a frustrating argument, or simply the noise of daily life, these phrases will anchor you in calm, position you in strength, and earn you the kind of respect that no amount of anger or sharpness ever could. Remember what the Stoics taught us. It is never what happens to you that defines you. It is always how you choose to respond. Every word you speak is a choice. Every sentence is an opportunity to demonstrate who you truly are at your core. When you choose phrases rooted in wisdom instead of reactions rooted in emotion, you become a different kind of person, the kind of person that others look to, lean on, and deeply admire. Practice these phrases daily. Write them down. Memorize them until they become as natural as breathing. Because wisdom, like any great skill, is built one intentional choice at a time. The ancient Stoics did not become legends by accident. They became legends by practicing, every single day, the art of responding to life with grace. Now it is your turn. Speak wisely, live powerfully, and remember, the world needs more voices rooted in wisdom, not anger. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, then you belong in this community. Subscribe to this channel right now and join thousands of others who are on this journey of Stoic wisdom together. Every week, you will receive powerful insights, timeless lessons, and practical tools from the greatest Stoic philosophers who ever lived, all designed to help you live with more clarity, calm, and confidence. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and become the wisest version of yourself. See you in the next video.